Hey, we're talking about Dynatrace license model today. Now, Dynatrace is a software performance management tool that provides real-time insight into the performance and health of an organization's digital ecosystem. It uses artificial intelligence and automation to identify and diagnose issues and provides a single holistic view of an organization's entire digital landscape. Now, is it coming free of cost? No. A Dynatrace license is required to use the software. Now, of course, there is a free trial version, and I've already made a video of how you can register for a trial version on Dynatrace. If you want, you can go ahead and click on the I button there on the top right corner and go to watch that video. The license is typically based on the number of monitored hosts, applications, or users. Now, there are different types of licenses available, such as perpetual, subscription based, or managed. The cost of a Dynatrace license can vary depending upon the type of license, the number of hosts, applications, or users, and the length of the licensing term. Some organizations may need to purchase additional features or services such as training or professional services to help them implement the solutions on their environment. Now go to dynatrace.com/pricing to have a look at the different type of licensing model and monitoring. Now Dynatrace monitoring consumptions is based on various type of monitoring units that are consumed by your Dynatrace environment during the monitoring of your applications and related services. Now on this page, you are seeing the total number of different monitoring solutions that Dynatrace offers and the units which are there available, which will be consumed as part of the license for different features which are available on Dynatrace. Now, depending upon what you use on Dynatrace, you pay for what you use. You have full stack monitoring, infrastructure monitoring, digital experience monitoring, application security monitoring, open ingestion, and cloud automation. Now we're going to talk one by one out of these. Let's come to full stack monitoring first. Now with full stack monitoring, Dynatrace does provide complete application performance monitoring and code level visibility. It also provides deep process monitoring and code insight of everything which is there on the system. You just have to install the one agent onto your host and everything will be done. But with the infrastructure mode monitoring, it is for the use cases where less visibility is required. Now one agent can be configured for both infrastructure as well as full stack monitoring while you're trying to install it. You can select whether you want full stack monitoring or infrastructure monitoring. But depending upon what you choose, the host unit will be consumed. Now what are these host units? Now host unit license is a type of license that is based on the number of monitored hosts in an organization digital ecosystem. A host unit is defined as a single physical or virtual machine running on an operating system. Now for both full stack as well as infrastructure mode, you'll be consuming host unit licenses. But depending upon these selections, the number of host unit consumed will vary. Now with this host unit license, organization can monitor and analyze the performance of their applications, services, and infrastructure on each host. Now this allows them to identify and diagnose issues such as bottlenecks or errors and optimize the performance of their ecosystem. Now as I mentioned, the cost of a Dynatrace host unit license will vary depending upon the choice that you make in terms of full stack or infrastructure monitoring. Now it also depends on the number of hosts which are being monitored, the length of the license term, and the amount of RAM which is there on each host. So organization also will have a choice to purchase either a perpetual license, which is a one-time purchase, or a subscription-based license, which is a recurring payment. It is best to reach out to Dynatrace directly to get a quote on host unit licenses that fits your need. Next one is DEM, which is digital experience monitoring. Now, in addition to the application and infrastructure monitoring provided by one agent, you may also require Dynatrace synthetic monitoring. You may also require real user monitoring or session replays. Now, these capabilities are consumed based on digital experience monitoring units, otherwise which are known as DEM units. Now, digital experience monitoring is a solution that provides insights into the performance and user experience of digital properties and applications. it really does uses a combination of synthetic and real user monitoring to gather data of the performance, availability, and user experience of web pages and applications. The data is then analyzed and presenting into an easy to understand format, allowing teams to quickly identify and resolve performance issues. Now, as I said, unit is called the DEM unit, which represents the level of currency and data volume that the Dynatrace software can handle. It is also used to help customer decide how many units they need to purchase to monitor their environment. Now, next one is a recently launched one, which is application security units. Because application security monitoring was not something Dynatrace was offering a couple of years back, but this has been introduced lately to cover up the vulnerability sections of monitoring in a particular environment. Now, application security monitoring will help you visualize, analyze, and monitor security vulnerabilities in your environment that are related to a third-party libraries at runtime. Now, everything which is happening is at runtime. Dynatrace will help you visualize your environment in terms of the security vulnerabilities which are there on your entire environment, not just host. Now, how this is measured, how this is consumed in terms of license is through application security units. Now, Dynatrace application security is licensed based on these ASUs, application security units, and the number of security units that are consumed in an environment is based on the servers that run the application, which are monitored with application security. And there are a couple of other factors as well, like the amount of RAM which is there on the monitored servers, and the number of hours that the server runs, and the application security capabilities that are enabled on that particular server. Okay, next one is DDUs. Now, when we talk about open ingestion, what we mean is there are certain systems where you can't deploy one agent onto the host. For example, the cloud-based environments like Azure or cloud or AWS. Sorry. So in those circumstances, what Dynatrace does is it provides a capability to to use the API calls to integrate with those with their solutions which are monitoring their environment. For example, in case of AWS, we did one use case where we integrated with AWS CloudWatch. So CloudWatch was monitoring the entire infrastructure of the AWS environment clouds and every host. So we integrated those AWS CloudWatch environments to Dynatrace, and that's how the API calls and matrices started flowing to Dynatrace. Now, for these sort of consumption where we have open ingestions, Davis data units is a unit that is there for identifying the consumptions. So DDUs, they provide a simple means of licensing certain capabilities like custom matrices. Another factor which is log monitoring. If you want to monitor certain logs onto Dynatrace, DDUs will be consumed, and then there are certain custom events if you want to create on Dynatrace. It really does use it, DDUs. Think of DDUs as a kind of Dynatrace currency. In the same way that license consumption for a Dynatrace RUM and synthetic monitoring relies on DEM units, DDUs provides a seamless shared consumption model across custom matrices, log monitoring, and custom events. Now, because these are consumption based, you buy a certain volume and your available quota is consumed over time based on the amount of monitoring your environment consumes. Now, this licensing approach makes it easier for you to control and monitor your metrics consumption. For example, in the case of misconfigured matrices, and to identify the top consumer in environment. So I'm going to show you in the end where you can check your license consumption and the license which is allocated to you. Okay. So this one, DDUs, is mainly used for log monitoring, serverless functions, custom API traces if you want to do. Okay. Now this brings us to the last one, which is a very recent one. This is cloud automation monitoring. Now Dynatrace with time is now moving towards not only monitoring, but kind of do some certain automation orchestration task and to also remediate at certain point. Now Dynatrace Cloud Automation is an event-driven automation platform that organizations use to deliver secure quality softwares to the end user. Now, these can be used by DevOps platform engineers or site reliability engineers, to build upon that platform to automate certain things and to ensure a quality end user experience at all levels. Now, I'm going to give you a certain example to cut it short. Some examples of cloud automation consumption will be like, for example, lifecycle orchestration. Some point, for example, we are sending an update to Jira. So one update to Jira will consume one unit of this particular license, 1 unit of CAU. Triggering a test execution will consume another one. If you want to trigger a deployment, it will consume 1 CAU. And same way, there are certain other examples as well. Sometimes for quality evaluation also as well, we can do it. Yeah. So for example, one quality gate evaluation will consume 1 CAU, and it is irrespective of the number of matrices that are included in the quality gate. It is just going to consume one. One more example can be like problem remediation. So for example, we triggered one action to remediate a certain problem which arises, and one action will consume 1 CAU. Okay, so this is how CAU is consumed, cloud automation monitoring units. So these are all the licenses model based on the consumption or monitoring which is there on Dynatrace. Now I'm going to show you how you can check these particular things. So if you go to the home page on your Dynatrace account, click on this icon here on the right top and click on account settings. Now on the left you have to click on license details. Now this is a trial version that I'm using, but at any point you can check your consumptions which is there. Now it is showing me the start date of it, the end date of it, the number of days which are left in the period, and the number of different licenses which are available with me. Like for example, host unit hours. There are certain free host unit hours that I've got, 1,000 of them, and I haven't used any of them yet because I haven't got any monitoring yet on the system. Number of sessions which are available for me to use, number of synthetic actions, number of DDUs which are available with me, and it will also give me a consumption basis on the environment. So for example, if I got some monitoring, so let's say I'm monitoring 5 hosts on this system, so it will tell me a number of host monitoring which is available, what are the different sort of actions which I'm using on it, and how many units are being consumed at the moment. Okay, I can also click on view consumption on the top right to see my consumption details based on certain times, and I can check any of these different units that I have and what are the consumptions of these units based on a certain time. Okay, so I think this is all from my side. I hope that you enjoyed learning about the features of Dynatrace, and we talked about license on this particular video. As always, I would love to have your feedback and looking forward to hear your feedback on the comments. I'm trying to create, because I don't have time to create a full-fledged course on Dynatrace. I'm working on it, but in the meanwhile, I'm creating these short videos for you to learn these small topics. So let me know in the comments what else do you want me to cover. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and let me know your feedback. Thank you for watching.